Hi, it's Heather from Strings and Threads. Today we are going to do a tutorial on the baby tree dice bag so you can make your own. And if you're not interested in it being a dice bag, you can always exclude this double crochet row at the top and you can stuff him and just put the top in, skip the double crochet row and then do the top part. You will have to figure out a way how to sew it closed because this is open, and I'm doing this tutorial for the dice bag. But if you wanted to give it a whirl without the opening, you're welcome to give it a try. Before we start, I just wanted to remind you that even though I'm offering you this free tutorial, this is still my copyrighted pattern. So what that means, it means you can make as many of these as you want. You can make 20 million if you wanted to. And if you wanted to sell them, you're more than welcome to sell them. But as far as the pattern itself, you may not do your own tutorial on it. You may not write down the pattern and share it with other people. You may not sell the pattern. The actual pattern, the stitches, is my creation. And so my copyrighted property. But please feel free to make as many as you would like. And if you feel you could sell them, you're welcome to do that. And I would love to see your creations. My email is in the description. So if you make some, I would love to see them. I hope you have a good time here. Let me know what you thought of the tutorial when it's over. All right, to get started, I have an H hook, which is a 5mm or an 8. I believe that's 8, right? H8. And then brown yarn. And actually, the only other yarn you'll need is a little bit of black yarn for the face, for the details, for the smile, for the eyebrows, and then you'll need safety eyes. This is called Paracord, P-A-R-A-C-O-R-D, and you can get it from Amazon. And this is a toggle fastener, and those you can also order from Amazon in large quantities, which is what I do. And then, that's how you pull it tight. This works really well because the paracord doesn't fray. I have found that if I made cords out of yarn, the yarn will eventually fray. And it's no big deal. You can make it the way you want. This just, to me, is the most sturdy way to make it. So I thought I would share with you the way that I do it. All right, so we start, believe it or not, at the bottom with the legs. And we're going to make 2 of them. I'll make 1 of them with you, and then I'll turn it off and make a second, so it'll magically look like I have a second pair, or a second leg, once I'm done with this first one. So you start with the slip stitch. I'll move this out of the way, hopefully you can see well. Chain 2. And then you do 10 half double crochets in the second chain from the hook. And it just naturally starts going around in a ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I always just say attach to the first half double crochet, but I guess technically you're doing a slip stitch into the first half double crochet. So if you ever get my directions for something and you see attached to the first double crochet, it just means slip stitch into it, and that's how you're attaching it. So you're making a full circle here. Now for the second row, excuse me, you just put 1/2 double crochet in each stitch around. So it should still equal 10 at the end. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And please pardon me if I'm coughing. I had a really, really wicked bout of bronchitis, and it's been taking forever for it to fully clear up. So there's the second row. Now we're going to put 1/2 double crochet in each stitch around for 4 more rows. I will do that with you, but I will put it in fast motion, so you'll have to pardon me if I'm not talking through that, because otherwise my voice will sound crazy high-pitched and fast. So I'm going to start right here. I'll make it in fast motion. 4 more rows with 1/2 double crochet in each stitch, and then fasten off. Okay, now I miraculously have 2. I did not finish off on the second leg, but if you did, it's fine. Just reattach in any of the spaces. It really doesn't matter. So we're going to now work the legs together and then make the body go around. So the way we're going to do that is that I'll chain 1, and I'm going to 1/2 double crochet in 9 of the 10 stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I hope you guys can see my hands well enough. I'm going to take the second leg, and I'm going to 1/2 double crochet in 9 of these stitches. So I'm sorry, I was rereading my directions there. So I just yarn over and then just immediately do, I don't do any chaining or anything, just immediately do a 1/2 double crochet. This will be a little awkward in the beginning, but it will come together. So I go into 9 total in this one, so 8 more because I just did 1, 2, 3, 4, Okay, so now I'm going to attach to the first half double crochet of the other leg that I worked in. This will leave a little bit of a hole in between the legs, which we will go and stitch up later. Okay, so now we chain one, we put one half double crochet in each stitch around, which should bring us to 18. So let me count and make sure I did that right. 1, yep, I have 18, so that was the perfect amount. And then I attached to the first with a slip stitch. So now I'm going to do 5 more rows just with one half double crochet in each stitch around and then joining to the first stitch. So I'll do it and put it in fast motion for you. If anybody's wondering, the song that I'm using in there is a song that I wrote when I was younger. When I was younger, I used to write songs. So that's my own original song that I went and recorded. So. All right, from here, we're going to start bringing it in towards the neckline. If you look here, it does come in, and then the neckline is smaller, and then we'll bring it back out. If you were noticing, I do have a different color crochet hook this time. I took that other H and used it for another project, so I have it in a bag with that project. Luckily, I have another H hook. When my Grammy passed away, I inherited all of her crocheting stuff, and she had a lot of stuff. She was not the one who taught me how to crochet. She never did teach me how to crochet, but she was an avid crocheter. And I just always assumed that's where I got my love of it from. But after I got married, my mother-in-law was the one who taught me how to crochet, and I just, was in love with doing it ever since the first time I tried. So anyway, that was a little tidbit. We'll chain one here. We're going to half double crochet 2 together. And then put 1 half double crochet in the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now we're going to half double crochet 2 together again. And then 7 stitches with just 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now join. If you're looking at the pattern, it just says attach. So slip stitch, attach, join to the first stitch. So now we're going to chain 1, half double crochet 2 together, 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Two together, and then 1 in the next 2. Excuse me. 2 together, and then 1 in each of the next 2. 2 together, and then 1 in each of the next 2. Attach to the first one. Chain 1. We're going to half double crochet 2 together, and then 1 in the next, each of the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 together, and then 1 in the last, each of the last 4. 2, 3, 4. Attach to the first. So now we are going to chain 1, and we're going to switch to single crochet. We're going to single crochet 1 in each stitch around. Oops, I'm still in the half double crochet mode. So now we are going to start building up the head. So we're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch around, doubling what the size is now. Join to the first. Okay, the next row we're going to chain 1 and have 1 single crochet in each stitch around. I hope that this has been easy for you to follow. Make sure you let me know, or if you think there are things that I can improve. Now, if you would like to watch it slower, I believe there is some way on YouTube that you can slow down the video. If I am moving too slow, I'm sorry about that. I wanted to show each stitch here. I know it can be boring to just, you know, watch somebody crochet 1 stitch at a time, the whole entire project. But I wanted to make sure that this was easy for anyone to follow, even somebody who's, you know, just beginning. So hopefully it's not too boring. All right, so the next row, we're going to do chain 1, 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, 3, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 in the next 3. 1, 2, 3, 2 in the next one, 1 in the next 3, 1, 2, 3, 2 in the next one, 1 in the next 3, 1, 2, 3, 2 in the next one, 1 in each of the last 3. 1, 2, 3. Attach to the first. So we're going to do 6 more rows now. Actually, yes, I'm sorry, I was reviewing my pattern. I have my pattern right here. I did not have it memorized. Oops, oh no, now it fell. So when I'm doing a pattern, I'll write down as I go along what I'm doing. If I don't like the way it's turning out, then I'll just have to, you know, go back and retype what does look right. So for now, it's going to be total of 7 rows. I just chained 1 and put 1 single crochet in the first stitch, but a total of 7 rows of just 1 single crochet in each stitch. So I will probably try to be quiet here so that I don't sound weird. And from this point on in the video, I will speed it up because I think it will take too much time and probably be pretty boring. And I hope that you would understand the directions to just put 1 single crochet in each stitch around for 7 rows. And so I'll speed up the next part and then come back with the next directions. Okay, the next row is going to be all double crochets. So if you wanted to try your own stuffed Groot, you probably would want to exclude this next row. You will need to figure out a way to close this up. I'm just, like I said, I'm just showing you the dice bag version, but you know, he's pretty well could be just stuffed and exclude this row. But you would need to find a way to close up the top. So if you're doing the dice bag, do the next row of double crochet with us. If not, you'll want to skip this row. So chain 2, and then just 1 double crochet in each stitch around. This is the row that we would weave the paracord in and out of. I have a video of how to do the paracord, but I will also show it when we get to that point in this video. Okay, so the next row we'll attach here. We'll chain 1 and just put 1 single crochet in each around. Oops, oh, I was in half double crochet and double crochet mode. I find myself doing that a lot when I have to single crochet. I think the stitch I probably use the most out of all of them is the half double crochet. So if you're not doing the bag, if you were going to try and figure out a way to do a stuffed Groot, you would probably still add this. So this would just be 1 more row of single crochet on top of the previous rows of single crochet. And you'll continue doing the rest of what we do too, because we're going to do the, I guess it's supposed to be hair, whatever this top part is. Attach. Okay, now here we're going to want to pay a little bit of attention to. This part can get a little tricky. So what we're going to do is chain 1. We're going to single crochet in the first 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to turn. Okay, so that you're looking at the other side. Chain 1, single crochet 2 together, single crochet 2 together. Turn, chain 1, single crochet 2 together. Okay, Okay, now you're going to just go down. There are 2 holes on the side here. You're just going to single crochet into the first hole, single crochet into the second hole, and then single crochet in 4 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn, single crochet 2 together, single crochet 2 together. Turn, single crochet 2 together. Single crochet in the first hole, single crochet in the second hole. You can see how it's turning out here. Single crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn, single crochet 2 together, single crochet 2 together. I don't know how much of the outside you can hear. Now we're going to single crochet 2 together. The noise today, you would think I lived in a city or something. I actually live with wood, you know, kind of in a woody area. We have about 2 acres of woods. Go in the first hole, go in the second hole. It's just that they're doing road work today near our house. Normally it is super quiet, except for an occasional motorcycle that likes to zoom through. Single crochet the next 4. So that's all the ruckus. I am not in a city. Turn, 2 together, single crochet, 2 together, single crochet, single crochet 2 together, single crochet in the first hole, in the second hole. All right, single crochet in the next 4. We're just going to keep following this pattern, so hopefully you got it. Turn, chain 1, single crochet 2 together, single crochet 2 together, and single crochet 2 together. Single crochet in the first hole, in the next. All right, I think this might be the last 4 grouping. We're going to end with 1 that will just single crochet in and then finish it there. So here's 4. Turn, chain 1, single crochet 2 together, single crochet 2 together. I'm sorry if I forgot to say the chain 1 with these, but whenever we start a new row, you always chain 1. Single crochet 1 in the hole, in the second one, single crochet in here, and then we'll finish. And I'll come back with the next direction. Okay, the next thing to make are the arms. So we start by chaining 2. We're going to do 8 half double crochets in the second chain from the hook. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Now attach to the first half double crochet. Now we're going to do chain 1, half double crochet in each around. Attach to the first half double crochet. We're going to repeat that for 6 more rows. 6 more rows of just 1 half double crochet per stitch. So I'm going to stop it and then I will use the speed up. So we'll finish it leaving a tail so that you can use that tail to sew the arms onto the body. So this is just one arm. You want to do the same exact thing one more time for the second arm. So I'll come back when I have the second arm done. All right, now I magically have 2. Woohoo! So I call this a yarn needle. I guess they're also called darning needles. But this is what I'm going to use to sew the arms on the body. And I never give specific stitches, or I haven't to this point, as to where to put things, because I always feel like it's like the artist's preference. You know, some people might like the arms a little bit lower, a little bit higher. You know, you can judge for yourself where you think they might look best. So I'm just going to put them right around here. And then I sew through both loops of the chain there. Now since it will be on the inside, make this stitch go on the inside. And I'm just going to finish with a knot because you won't see the knot. The knot will be on the inside. I'm just going to kind of peel his head down a little bit. Get in there and make a knot so that the arm won't come off. And since I'm the queen of knots and I usually overdo knots, I'll put a second one in. I just hate to see my work come apart. Those are my upstairs pair of scissors. Those aren't my good pair that I like. All right, so there's that arm. I'm gonna go sew the other arm on and then come back. All right, both arms are on. The next part we're gonna do is the face. And again, I don't give exact position for eyes and mouth, that sort of thing. I leave that kind of up to your discretion. But the thing, just some tips that I do with the eyes is I like to have them a little bit farther apart. And I try to keep them in the same row. So let's try that with these. I picked these out of my stash, and unfortunately I don't know the size because this is how my safety eyes come to me when I order them. So there's just a bunch of different sizes all clumped together in a bag. So I want to make sure I have enough room for eyebrows. That might be a little high. Let's see how that is. Okay, I'm liking that so far. Come across the same row. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I'll attach them. Okay, so those are on. I already have, I'm going to use black, but you can use whatever color you want to put the eyebrows and the mouth on. So I already have it ready to go. And here I just kind of tried to line it up a little bit with the eyes, not quite the middle, but more like center middle. So I'll try that again this time. I'll try there. That might be a little low. Try that. So what I was doing is I was trying to line it up. It doesn't have to be exact. Kind of between the eyes and try and get it at least close there. All right. I'm happy with that. He looks happy. I'll come up for the eyebrows. This is just kind of eyeballing it too. These aren't exact anything. They were just what I thought looked good when I was making it. So I'm going to try to mimic that here. Like I said, it won't be exact. The one thing you want to be careful is not to block the double crochet row because we are going to be putting paracord through there shortly. leave them like that. So then I'll just put a knot in the back here. And cut it off. The knot will be on the inside so you won't see it. Again, my upstairs scissors, which are not really all that great, but they do the job. All right, so the next part is going to be putting, I don't know if these are vines or branches, whatever they are, around. So I started, when I did him, I started with the feet and the hands. And these I did a little differently than the ones around the body. I just attached some yarn just right onto here, just anywhere towards the bottom. Just did it with a knot. And I pulled through. Sorry if I'm going a little low there. Stop looking at the camera for a minute. I would chain 3, come down and just put it somewhere else around the hand, just in a slip stitch. Okay, maybe that's not a good spot. Let's see again. There we go. Just didn't want to crop right. Chain 3. And then slip stitch into this one. Chain 3. Slip stitch into here. Chain 3. You might have more or less chains and slip stitches than me. I'm just going around, not really counting other than chaining 3 each time. And you can see on the bottom there. These I guess are kind of like fingers. I'm just going to chain 3 and pull it through. This will probably be the last one I do. No, maybe I'll do one more because that looks like a big space there. Okay, and the last thing to do is just to finish it off. I'm going to do the same exact thing with this hand and with both feet. So I'll come back when that's done because you don't need me to show you that again. You can just rewind it if you need to. See, I'm so old-fashioned, I said rewind. And then I'll come back when I have the other hand and the feet done. All right, I finished both hands and the feet. I did them the same way with the 3 chains and then just shove it in another stitch. So the vines here are just strands of chains, and probably the easiest way to attach them would be to hot glue them, but I do not have a hot glue gun, amazingly enough. So I just made the chains and then sewed them on, which is a little bit tedious, but it does give him a really nice look. So you just make a chain. And then I'll get you started with how I sew it on. And then I'll pause the video because you don't need to see me sewing the whole thing on. I think you can get the gist. I'm actually not even counting how many chains I'm doing. I just know that I want a long one that will wrap around here. And probably come around the back here and come around his other arm, or I could come down this way. I think I'll do that. I'll come down this way and then maybe wrap it around his body. And I think that'll be good. So I need some more chains for that. All right, let's see how this works. I think that's pretty good. So what I'm actually going to do is leave a tail to sew on. So I'm going to need kind of a longer tail on the longer end with my upstairs scissors. Okay, and thread this up. So I'll probably just kind of do where I want the placement. Right around there. And then I just like I said, this is a little bit tedious, especially when you can't get the first stitch in. Yikes. All right, there it goes. I'm getting a little tangled here. This chain didn't want to stay in place. And then of course this wanted to go between the legs. But move on. I'll do a couple more stitches here to show you. And then I'll finish stitching this on and come back to show you the paracord and toggle fastener. And then he'll be done. All right, last stitch to show you. The arms and legs like to get the tail. All right, I'll finish that and come back. All right, here it is with the bind sewed on. This is what my original one looked like. Okay, so the last thing to do is to put on the paracord. This is my paracord. you could see the ends fray fairly easily. So what I do is I bend it in half before, or not in half, I bend a little piece at the end before I attach it, and then we'll put on a toggle fastener later. This is one where you squeeze. So wherever you start is where the toggle fastener is going to go. So my first stitch on this one, this is where I put in my first stitch on this side, and then I went all the way around and it came out here. So that's where the toggle fastener goes. So unless you wanted to, you probably wouldn't want to start here in the middle of the eyes. Maybe you would want it in the back. I thought it looked kind of cool on the side. The reason why I did the side was because it almost looked like he's wearing like some kind of ninja scarf or something around his head. I don't know. But that's the reason why I did that there. I'll probably do the same on this one. Just find something off to the side. And then we just weave it in and out of the double crochet row. You see how I still have it folded? Because otherwise this end will just fray. I've seen people go in and out of every 2 stitches, every one. You know, they skip randomly. I just do in and out of each one. And you can make yours the way that you like it. So you don't have to do it the same way as me. And when we get to the end, if there's only one stitch at the end, I probably will still skip some, because when you pull the toggle fastener closed, it's easier if it has more than one. So if I went through one more, there'd only be one. So we're going to stop there. So when I pull the toggle fastener, it'll have something to hold on to nicely. Okay, so this next part can be tricky depending on how frayed your ends are. So I line these up so that they're even. You want to wait till after you weave it in and out to do that, because it sometimes changes. So then you squeeze the toggle fastener and you put both strands through. Like I said, sometimes that can be tricky. That one went fairly easily. They were being nice to me. Now, I tie a knot at the end with these two, because otherwise, when you open the toggle fastener, if you go too far, it'll just fall right off. So you don't want that. And then trim the edges, hopefully with better scissors than my upstairs scissors. I need to get a pair of scissors that are much better than these to keep upstairs. The junky ones just ended up upstairs. Geez, I think some of those small pairs of scissors my kids use are better than these. All right. I don't know if that's any better or not, but what I do then, the ends can be burned. I never do that because I don't like to do that. Or if you put glue on the ends and let them dry overnight, it hardens and it never ever frays after that. I don't, you know, you figure that it would wear out eventually, but I have dice bags that are decades old that I made more than 10 years ago that are still, you know, not fraying, and the ends are still hardened. I was going to say this earlier when I was putting the paracord through, but I forgot until now. But I wanted to say that the reason why I use paracord and not yarn, you know, even if you do chains or special knots, anything like that, over time, if you keep pulling this in and out and in and out, the knot or the yarn, you know, no matter what you did to it, is going to eventually start to fray. And you can always replace it. I mean, if you like the look of the yarn being woven in and out, you can do that, but just know that it's probably going to need to be replaced. The paracord, like I said, those I've been using them on dice bags for more than 10 years. And my original bags that I have, you know, no issue at all with the paracord. It's still the same original paracord, no fraying. It takes a beating, you know, being open and closed and open and closed, and still stays in great shape. I'm going to put this down because I'm getting glue on me. I should have been showing you on the one that is already dried. I'll show you. I don't know how well you can see, sorry. But this is hardened and it's not fraying at all. It's perfectly fine. And we can open and close and open and close and open and close this, and it'll do well. Well, that's my video. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you were able to make your own tree dice bag. And please give me some feedback, what you think. Should I do more of these? I want to make these exclusive to people who subscribe to me, just as a special thank you for supporting me and being part of this channel. So let me know your feedback.